Okay, we're down here with tricycle.tv again, and I'm here with
Anna.
Tell us about yourself, Anna, first, a little bit, if that's all right.
Well, my name is Anna. I was born in Spain, also Swedish, because my dad is Swedish, but moved to Bristol about 6 years ago. Just looking for opportunities
Okay.
for like new life or whatever. And I've been living here since. Been renting and working for the man, like people say, and but also squatting and just living life like as it is, just doing art and trying to be kind to everyone.
Okay.
I'm also in college at the moment.
What do you study in college?
Music technology.
And why do you study? Why are you interested in that? What's the kind of why do you study that? Why do you like it?
Oh, because obviously I wanted to gain some knowledge about recording and recording equipment and the basics of audio engineering. And even though I know that I can do it, study on my own, I'm hard to put down. So I thought if I go to college, at least I'll be in a place where I can, be told to learn.
Yeah. So. And so, do you play musical instruments as well?
I've learned guitar recently, and they teach me piano as well.
Oh, piano. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we were just chatting about squatting in Bristol, and I think that's how we originally met. I think through this kind, I don't know how else to call it, but loosely speaking, like alternative scene, something different scene, that kind of thing. Yeah. We were just chatting about squats, and now obviously we're looking at the legislation that was brought in 2010 by the Tories. We've seen squats, but also social centres shut down. My kind of idea really is that squats aren't just places for people to live, or weren't just places for people to live, but were places to build from, to, I don't know, make banners or something like that. What's your kind of thinking around that?
They want social hubs as well, like apart obviously from places for people to stay, not out in the cold, and being warm, is social hubs for people to meet and create stuff, like you said, create banners, or, if they're going to get on protesting or something, but also for arts and creativity and culture, like music, paintings, obviously, even clothes making, I don't know. Trending style trends, but especially just social places for people to meet together, like just have chats, have teas, and just be a community, be part of something together, I reckon.
So the situation at the moment, I mean, what we've got is hundreds of people homeless in Bristol. Possibly more actually, just not recorded as homeless. A situation that I've just heard of this morning, for example, is a family that's being evicted out of their temporary accommodation because basically the accommodation that this mother was offered was so small for 3 children and her, it was just completely unrealistic. She turned down this housing and is now, through the council's eyes, made her herself intentionally homeless. So we've got a situation where we've got hundreds of empty buildings all over Bristol, yet people are still sleeping in the streets. What's going on? And how could squats kind of plug that gap, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it is a shame. It is a shame that with them, I don't know, with the gate system, or if you can call it gate system, but with all the things nowadays that could be done for all these people, especially people with kids, like you said, and families getting kicked out of their houses as well. It breaks my heart, to be honest. I've been in that situation before as well. I got told make myself intentionally homeless when I was being completely honest to my landlord. I just said I didn't have the money for the rent, and obviously I couldn't pay my rent, so I left the house, and then I told the council about it, and the council just said to me, well, you made yourself intentionally homeless. And I'm like, well, it's either that or getting kicked out and going to court, like costing my landlord tons of money. I'd rather just say to him the truth and seek some help. But that's when I started squatting as well, because I didn't have anywhere to go, and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't knew. didn't know so many people as I do now in Bristol, so I didn't know, anyone to pull me a hand or whatever. And I met this guy, and he told me, well, come with us, I'm going to show you a place, meet the people, because I think it's the kind of people that you get along with, and they might have a place for you to stay, like in the squat.
So how was it for you living in a squat? What was your personal experience like living in a squat?
That first time I was I was like, whoa, these people are strange.
Yeah.
and this place is so clean, but but obviously it was just the first week. So after that, we all like got together and cleaned the space and made it look beautiful. And we just make food and sit down and have cups of tea and coffee and chat for like hours and hours for like the whole day. Sit in the roof, play with the pigeons and the seagulls. Funny enough, but just.
So a sense of community, really.
That's
nice.
Sense of community. I like being part of something. Obviously, make friends and meet people, different stories. Like I met this girl, for example. She was Russian, and she was amazing. One of the best people I ever met in my life. And not only her, but that's just the first squat. But so many people, so many different stories, like inspiring stories. And when you're down, people can give you a hand, and you don't even know that they come. You don't need to ask for help. Like they just come and help you. That's the good thing. Like, I reckon when people is isolated in houses and flats and rooms, it's just it gets so horrible from there. I mean, I had a friend of mine as well. He was barely young. He was like 20, 21 years old, and after squatting, he got put in his flat, and then because the squat broke up, like his friends like kind of separated a little bit. And,
so it's quite isolated, really.
I think he got really isolated, and then because he was going through obviously the whole experience of growing up and becoming an adult, and because he was going through that on his own, that's why I reckon he killed himself, because he got isolated. And if it would have been like in another place, surrounded by people the same, they've been through that experience, or they're going through the same experience, it might be a little bit more handy for him to handle, the whole the whole thing. Like that's one of the things that really pisses me off as well, because I think the system tried to isolate people for a reason, to make them like weaker, because all together we could do so much. And that's what people don't realise, I think.
I think you're right. I think it's interesting. I mean, if people are kind of if people are like divided, then it's much easier to control populations. And I mean, what I've seen this morning, for example, is around the corner there's a building which was left about 3 years empty, but it used to be a move-on accommodation for the hostel, the Jamaica Street Hostel. So once you've been in the hostel, you could move into it. Anyway, that place lost its funding, lost its central government funding, and then it was empty for all this time. Then Camelot, which is like a company which is like, it sits on buildings basically, essentially what squats used to do, and then they basically charge like each resident, like, well, not even resident, just the person who lives in the building, 200 quid each or whatever for the rent, and then it's kind of occupation through people being there, and basically what I've seen this morning is, so a building which used to be for move-on accommodation, which is now given to or rented out to people for smaller rents than we normally pay. But then outside of there is someone living in a tent outside this kind of so it's a backwards kind of system, and there's a lot of money to be had. It's actually, when people talk about the recession and stuff, I think like lots of people talk about the problems that come with the recession, but some people have done very well out in the recession. You know what I mean? Some people have done very well. They've made a lot of money from other people's misery and poverty. So you come from Spain anyway.
Yeah, I do.
So what's the situation in Spain? Do you go back sometimes or not?
Yes, I do go back.
And your family's still there?
My family, Well, part of my family is there. My mum and my brother and my cousins, aunties and uncles. But every now and then I go back. And it does make me sad, because it's kind of the same situation, just different backgrounds. But it's sadly the same situation, to be honest. There's loads of people being kicked out of their houses because they can't afford to pay their mortgages or rents or whatever. Because there are no jobs as well. Loads of people lose their jobs. Like, the whole family is based around this. That's why I think it's so fucked up. Like, I mean, excuse me.
That's French, but excuse your Spanish.
Yeah, but it's so like fucked up how a whole family can be just based on a job, on a salary, and then you cut it out, and then you don't give them hardly anything, or give them any help with it. You know what I mean? Like they have to survive just from like churches, and charity, yeah. But there's no much charity in Spain as it is in Bristol, but there's a lot of church work, the nuns and just the church, churches provides food, like food banks and stuff like that. But it's still like the whole families that have gone into empty buildings as well, because they have nowhere to live, and they've been squatting, and it's created a whole community, and their whole like fathers and mothers and daughters and children have made this like beautiful community. Like, just because they have nowhere to go. I mean that pisses me off. But it's more or less the same. Same situation, different background. But
What's your kind of living situation at the moment? Where do you I mean, not where you live, but where how do you live? How do you exist? How do you tea's not ready yet?
Oh, not ready yet?
No, it's not ready yet.
Oh, it smells nice.
Yeah, it's coming. Honey, lemon and ginger tea on the way.
Oh.
It's not ready yet.
Oh, how long it takes it ready?
Huh? Like 20 minutes? No, too long?
It's too long.
Too long.
I love one, I need one.
Yeah, oh sorry. On the way. I'm just doing a film now anyway, but
I'm sorry.
That's alright, sorry. So your living situation, what's going on for you at the moment?
Well, I have a trailer, a caravan, where I live with my friend, and that's where I stay. Well, I stay at the moment at a squat because we've got this dog with us that can get through the fence that we need to climb to get to the caravan. So we're temporarily staying in a squat at the moment.
Yeah.
In a commercial place in Bristol. I don't know the name, but
So I mean, because if you, you've obviously got dreams and stuff like that you want to do in your life, like we all have. But when you have to be thinking about living and where you're eating and where you're going to have a shower tonight and that sort of thing, it means that you can't really ever think about those things because you're constantly thinking about.
Dreams are always there. I reckon if you just keep the faith in your heart, like it will always stay there, and you can always get to them. But it is, I mean, it does make it a bit more complicated. To do Bristol, it's a good city to live if you're homeless and you need food, because there's loads of help, like people provide food and clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The church as well, the nuns. Maybe in other places in Britain it's not that easy to live, but I mean you can get around to it. There's it's probably just a myth, to be honest. Like you can do. I go to college and squat at the same time. I live in a trailer and try to have a social life. Yeah. and
you're happy in the situation you are at the moment. Good.
Really happy. Yeah.
Right.
I mean. Yeah. I can ask for more. Like I started college because obviously I wanted to learn more about music recording and music technology, and then I found myself in the position where I could have no help at all, no job seekers allowance, no funding for housing either. So I was like, well, I'm fucked. I'm completely fucked. My landlord kicked me out as well. It was dodgy like tenancy, and he got rid of us. Yeah. And then I moved into the trailer, and literally just like my whole life sorted itself out slowly, because I don't know, I just stress about rent all the time, and how am I going to get this money? Like, and I've got college and I have to work at the same time. Yeah. Now it's like, well, I don't have to worry about that, so I've got more time for me to
do the things that you want to do. That's my problem at the moment, is that I work hard. I'm doing the tricycle obviously, but I'm making these videos and also running for mayor. And for me, it's like I wish I could do the things that I really want to do, But in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, well, actually, I need to make money, and the reason why I need to make money is to pay my rent, because my landlord wants money at the end of the month. So I always just pay my rent just in time. It's always like 2 days before, and I've just got the money. But it's literally, I've been doing that for nearly 12 months. My tenancy's nearly coming up again. So now I've come to a position where I might think, actually, you know what? I might want to do something like you, where it frees me up and it allows me to live the life I want to live.
Finding other alternatives. I mean, no, it's not only squatting or something. I mean, there's so many things you can do to live like without paying rent. If you want to call it that.
Yeah.
But it's not about not paying rent. It's just about not being extortionated.
Yeah.
Because prices nowadays for rent is so expensive.
Well, final kind of question then, really. The situation in Bristol is starting to become, I think, quite untenable. Like, we've got situations where people are homeless, people have lots of land and buildings, and then immigration vans driving around. For me, it's all linked. All of these kind of issues are all linked. And sometimes I get a bit frustrated when I see like what's going on, and like, not saying that no one reacts to it, because people do, but lots of people just kind of carrying on and shopping and da-da-da-da. What can we do as a kind of a collective, even as a smaller collective in Bristol, to kind of try and empower people and like lift each other up and like get ourselves out of the situations that these.
I reckon being community, being in community, being part of a community, being part of the community is really important. So make sure you do speak to people. You do when you see someone on the street and they say hello. Sometimes stop and have a little bit more of a chat and say, how are you doing today? How are you today?
Yeah.
And understand each other's positions. Like, if you know what I mean. Like, it's about understanding and getting together. I reckon that's what I think people need to do. Just get together.
So you living in Bristol. What do you love about Bristol? What makes it your home, if you know what I mean? Even just for now.
Home is where you park it anyway. But
yeah.
where you park your ass. That's what I say anyway. Because you never know where you're going. But I reckon. Just the kind of. I lived in London for 5 months, and the difference between London and Bristol, as an example, I'm not trying to criticize anything, but it's just, sadly, the community of it, like, everyone knows each other, even though it's a city, everyone knows, it seems to have this, like, kind of small town feeling, where everyone knows each other, and, like, when it's sunny and it's not too rainy, everyone's just smiling to each other, and you go around and everyone's saying hello to you. You don't even know them, but they're just saying hello. It's like hello, and you smile back and you say hello.
But just as you said that, the sun's started to come out actually, which is pretty nice, isn't it? I guess maybe you were born in Spain?
Yeah.
So I mean, in terms of the weather and stuff in Bristol, do you struggle? I mean, because you want it hot, don't you? When it's sunny, at least.
At least sunny, yeah. Don't we all? Like,
yeah.
I think so. Like, some people do like the rain, and the rain's not too bad, That's why I think Bristol weather is not too bad.
Yeah.
Hey mate.
Hi friend, how's it going? Is that?
I'll
finish
cover
right,
turmeric, honey and
thanks.